In tonight's History's headlines, we're taking a trip back to the Roaring Twenties.
And that was a time of major change all across the country, including here in the Lehigh Valley.
Most conversations about the Roaring Twenties will include mentions of flappers and jazz, gangsters and bootleggers. But there was more to this decade of decadence than all that.
The 1920s were, in many ways, a very revolutionary decade. Although we're not talking about political revolutions, we're talking now about cultural and social revolution.
For the first time, more Americans were living in cities as opposed to rural settings. The nation's total wealth would more than double over the decade. Mass production began to pick up in everything from household products to cars.
By the time of 1929, an automobile was considered a necessity.
A car comes off the end of the line every 10 seconds.
Talkies were introduced in the movies. Allentown's Earl Theater was the first theater in the city to get a new sound projection system.
Hello, Mrs. Ginsburg.
On the West Coast, Hollywood minted its first class of movie stars.
People like Charlie Chaplin and Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks.
And all three of the Lehigh Valley's major cities put up fancy hotels, just in case any of those movie stars wanted to stop by. Hotel Bethlehem opened in 1922, Hotel Easton followed in 1924, and Allentown's America's Hotel was ready for its close-up in 1927.
They eventually won their point.
Women were making strides, too. The 19th Amendment of 1920 gave them the right to vote.
Women also, in the time period, started to take part in professional sports, particularly golf.
And speaking of famous women, pioneering aviator Amelia Earhart came to Bethlehem in 1929 to talk about the future of flying. That same year, what would become Lehigh Valley International Airport received its charter. So many things were flying high, it seemed, until
Black Tuesday.
October of 1929. The stock market crashed, leading to the Great Depression, which brought a swift and somber close to those Roaring Twenties.